Are you willing to give up your illicit seat that you don't deserve here at Amherst to make room for a disadvantaged minority? Yes or no?
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back here with a new video. Today, we're going to be checking out. He goes off about white privilege. Then Loser shuts him down. Okay, I love to check this video out with you guys. Let's get right to this video, guys.
After World War II, the white middle class soared to prosperity as a result of bills like the GI Bill. And African Americans who were coming home from war didn't get those benefits simply because they were African American. The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs denied African Americans access to those benefits simply because of their race. And you are correct in saying that no one today dealt with that particular issue. With that being said, however, there was wealth amassed as a result of those programs that still exists today. And when I think of your example about an individual who works as a janitor and sees people dining in a beautiful cafe walking home from work, I want to ask you, do you think any of that indignation, given certain circumstances, might actually be justified simply because there have been systematic blocks in people's way throughout American history, not ending with slavery, not ending with the Jim Crow laws, not ending, some would say even today, we still have housing discrimination, all of which is to say, you found that during the Cold War era, there was a massive boom in the white middle class's prosperity, and you just didn't have that among African Americans, not because they weren't meritorious, but because they were discriminated against.
Are you actually saying that you believe in a rule of social justice today that says globally, let's look at this as a global rule of justice. I'm going to figure out whose ancestors did what to whom, and I'm going to return goods that were illicitly taken from the beginning to the people who had it originally. Do you believe that that's a viable way to organize our society? Do you believe, if I can ask you a direct question, that you are the beneficiary of white privilege here at Amherst? Yes or no?
Well, yeah, and
Pause.
Okay.
If you are, can I ask you a further question?
Oh, okay, yeah, but I don't just say it in a I don't say it in a self-flagellating and self-aggrandizing way.
Hold on. Okay, go on.
You know, I really try not to. I'm simply saying that because you asked me. Really, I view the recognition of one's privilege as an impetus to change things. So I don't just say I have white privilege. I try to help those who have not benefited from such privilege.
How? Hold on. Let's pursue this for a moment. You say, this is actually very important because there's a psychology here, right?
Well, you see, I'm going to answer your question, but I'm really not trying to attack you. I'm not trying to be provocative. I just find that often, I think the essence of much of this discourse surrounds hypocrisy. And you're trying to demonstrate that I'm a hypocrite. I say I benefit from white privilege, yet I don't actually do anything. But I'm gonna backpedal and say that ultimately I think what the greatest vice is cruelty, and I don't want to be hypocritical. So to answer your question, I'll start in high school. I mean, do people want to hear this, or do we?
Educated. Go ahead. Tell them. Let them know.
Look, let me say where I'm going with this, because I think you're.
All right.
Well, too bad.
All of which is to say, it's not like I picked anyone out to help based on the color of their skin, but I was a tutor for people who tended to be low income when I was in high school. I suppose that would be one direct answer to your question, because oftentimes disparate educational opportunities are grounded in disparate economic systems or systems that produce disparate economic outcomes. So that's one way that I would combat it on an individual level.
All right. Here's what I'm getting with this, okay? One of the benefits of a good education of reading people like Nietzsche is you begin to understand how deep the human desire is for moral self-exculpation. Moral self-exculpation. Now, you say, and I didn't say this, you said this, I'm a beneficiary of illicit white privilege, okay?
Illicit?
Well, isn't all white privilege illicit? Is it deserved?
Well, in this current system, there is legality. I mean,
illicit means immoral.
Okay. Then
immoral white privilege. Yeah. Okay. So then if I were to say to you, there are surely many deserving minorities who would like to come to Amherst, but have the inherited disadvantage of American history. Therefore, since you are an acknowledged beneficiary of illicit privilege, would you be willing to step aside voluntarily, putting your own moral mouth where your self-proclaimed virtue is, and give your seat, not my seat. I realize you may be super generous with other people's advantages and favor affirmative action, so other white kids who apply to Amherst are turned away to open spaces for minorities. But I'm not talking about you acting out your virtue on them. I'm talking about you acting out your virtue on you. Are you willing to give up your illicit seat that you don't deserve here at Amherst to make room for a disadvantaged minority? Yes or no?
I love this man. I love this man. Like, I love it. I love how this man answered the guy. Like, it's very, very, very matured. Whenever someone talk about white privilege that it's as simple as that. You see, some white people who comes out and talk about this white privilege and saying that the black are being oppressed and also other race, they were not privileged enough. The perfect question to, I think Charlie have to see this video. The perfect question for you to ask, are you willing to give out your illicit seats that you do not deserve to the minority, to other people? If you feel like you are a savior or almighty, let me not call you Jesus, but almighty, or someone who is big or compassionate enough, then are you willing to give out your seats to people? If you feel like the other races are being, should I use the word oppressed, are you willing to give out your seats for them? That is the first question. If you feel like the white privilege is this, the white privilege is this, the white privilege is that. So you yourself who feel like you are up there and you are the one who have the privilege and you are seeing yourself as the white supremacy, the white king, that you see yourself, you are white and you have privilege. Are you willing to give out your seats to other people? Because the guy right there, if he believes in the white privilege, he's actually benefiting from the white privilege. Do you understand? So he's actually benefiting from the white privilege. Are you still willing to give out a seat? No. Whenever people talk about this white privilege of a thing, is that I keep telling them that history, I've said this all. The white privilege myth started from Democrats Party is a propaganda to deceive the black people. Because whenever they bring out the white privilege, this white privilege, that, they mostly talk about the black people. And like about 80% of the times, they talk about the black people. That the black people do not benefit anything. That the white privilege, what a white man can do, what a white man can do, a black man cannot do that. Or there's a job that a white man can get, well, when they see the black, they won't give him the job because he's black. But that exactly is not true. And also, they also feel like the white people have been in the system for a long time, that the black are behind. They have wasted 150 years because a lot of black people were enslaved. Like, what? I know the black people were enslaved, but the way you are saying it and putting it as, it's crazy. Because if you have to ask the same white people, are you willing to give out to undeserved seats? Undeserved seats. So what I raise, the simple answer will say no. So what are you talking about? So why are we having this conversation in the first place? So the guy is feeling like someone who is acting like a hypocrite. It's as simple as that. He's acting like he's speaking like an hypocrite because he's just saying things out that he cannot do. So irrespective of how he's trying to cover his words about, he's speaking like an hypocrite. And I love how Sousa exposed him. It's as simple as that. That student right there, or that young guy right there, cannot give out his white privilege that he sees, his invisible white privilege that he feel like he have, that he does not deserve, put it like that, to other race. He cannot do that. He won't even want to do that. He won't do that. You understand? But his full statement right here is saying that the white privilege exists, which is a big fat lie. It do not exist. I'll keep on saying this in literally all my videos. White privilege is actually a myth, and it's not true. And I love how Sousa exposed him, that he's an hypocrite. A lot of people who speak like this guy, they're all hypocrites. There's a Charlie's video I just checked out just now. Literally all of them who are talking about the white privilege and CRT, they are all white people. And they are all hypocrites because they cannot give out their illicit seats that they do not deserve to other race. Do you understand? So it's obvious and it's clear that this guy is an hypocrite. There is no way of covering his words and trying to cover himself as a savior or as a very, 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 very good person. So comment let me know what you think about this video, guys. Subscribe to our channel, guys. This dude right here is a beneficiary of the white privilege, and he's not ready to risk his seats out to other race. So subscribe to our channel, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay safe.